So Telltale basically brought back point-and-click adventure games.
Yep.
Single-handedly almost. They had this huge thing like Monkey Island and Full Throttle and all those LucasArts games back in the day, which were just the best ever.
Yeah.
And then no one made any of them for ages. And then all of a sudden this company comes along, Telltale, with this game called Walking Dead. And everyone's like, holy shit, this is amazing! And then there was like 50 games later, license deals to the nines, Batman, Game of Thrones, all this sort of shit. Now... Rip. Studio is finished, and unfortunately, they're not really doing the right thing by their staff. There's a lot to report on this, so let's just get into it,
fam. Okay, guys. So Telltale, it's sad times for them, really. They've let go, I think, about 250 people. They've still got about 20 people there, a skeleton staff, just kind of finishing things up. It was all going to shut down, right? And at the last moment, now they're seeing some people come out of the woodwork and saying, you know what, we'll back you for certain types of games, right?
Certain projects.
Certain projects, Walking Dead and Stranger Things, that's right.
Netflix apparently going to still produce the Stranger Things game.
Yep.
Not exactly sure what form that's going to take in terms of, staff, how they're going to be paid, which staff from where, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Unclear, but they have said that they do plan to produce the Stranger Things game, so you can expect that in some form.
Yeah. Speaking of paying employees, that's where it gets a bit tricky, because when they let all these people go, they weren't paid their severance. So apparently there's about 250 people, I think it's between 250 to 275, that were just let go, no notice, no healthcare now, no salary. So what are they going to do about that, really? I mean, it's a bit of a situation where if they're going to get funding for a new game, right? Two new games. What happens to all the people they just let go?
Yeah, so the way and the detail behind this is that, well, we talked about the Netflix with Stranger Things already, but on the Walking Dead side, they're about to release a new episode, or they've just released a new episode of The Walking Dead, and there's still 2 more episodes remaining that need to be made. The studio has stepped forward and said that they have had lots of offers from different parties looking to ensure that those games get released, right? And, they're like, cool, that's great, we can somehow get them out. Now, if we're not sure if that's going to be a properly released game, or if it'll be some kind of interactive comic strip, just so people can get closure on the story. Unclear, but that's what it is. Either way, as soon as they came out and said that they're going to get those games out by some means, Cory Barlog, who is the God of War director, tweeted out this.
I would hope this means that you will first pay your entire team their severance, and then proceed to finish the final episodes. I would be fine waiting however long it took to ensure we first treated those who worked so hard with the humanity and respect they deserve. Cory Barlog, God of employees.
He's the man. Everyone
He's the
loves
God
him.
of employees.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's a very good sentiment, but the reality is the people or the organizations that are stepping forward to support the release of these games, they're not doing it to bail out the studio and pay people their severance. They're doing it to release those games so that they can then turn a profit on at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So I hear what Cory's saying. I wish that were the reality. I wish that could happen, but unfortunately, I don't think these people are looking to bail out the severance requirements for the broader studio.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it is a bit of a complicated situation because people want to make sure that the employees are taken care of, and at the same time, they want to make sure that the game is completed. The people that are backing the game, they need to make sure that if they're going to be backing the game, all those funds can't just then go to those employees and there's no money for the game or whatever, right? I think the only way to move forward with that is, of course, to allow the game to come out, and then potentially Telltale can release a statement saying something along the lines of, all the profits that Telltale receives will make sure that before we take $1 of profit, we'll make sure everyone's paid their severance.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't imagine there's going to be any profit in this company, because if you just laid off 250 employees and they're like, you're pretty
probably
screwed,
not.
So.
But based on how much PR and all this stuff, I reckon a lot of people will line up to actually buy this game just to support Telltale.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have done that in the past with other games. So
what's happened just today as well is that one employee has filed a class action lawsuit against Telltale for labor violations. Basically, they're saying that they weren't provided the required 60 days notice before they were terminated, and that they're not receiving any severance. Now, the legal grounds around this are a little bit unclear. Polygon are reporting that, they were trying to find another round of venture capital, like bailout money essentially, just the day before they announced the closure. So it seems like Telltale were desperately scrambling to keep the studio alive.
Sure.
the deal fell through, and then they're like, well, the game's over, everyone. That's it. Everyone's out the door. In which case, they're allowed to do that because that's a reality of business, that you try and find funding and it falls through. But apparently in Californian law, which is where the company is based, that doesn't matter. And even if you think a company is going to crash within 60 days, you kind of still need to somehow warn people. And
I think that's fair.
It's hard.
I'll tell you why, because if you're scrambling for funding, then you know that the company is in trouble. And I just think that I can see the logic behind someone expecting a letter, something to say, we are currently looking for funding. This is the current situation of the company. Please be advised that in the next 60 days or even before, we might have to close up shop, you know?
Sure.
I understand that can definitely affect morale. It can definitely affect a lot of aspects in terms of the company, the performance levels, all that kind of stuff. Sure.
Will it be able to deliver on these other two projects? It seems like they can, but it's still a big question mark. And with regards to severance and health benefits for these employees, these 270 employees or whatever, very unclear what's going to happen for them. And I think that's the real focus on this as well. I think it's important to remember, you know, like we'd all love more Telltale games and Walking Dead and stuff like that, but the most important thing in this issue is the fact that there's 270 people who need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And, you know, us getting our video games isn't anywhere near as important as those guys getting their money so they can pay their rent and like cover their healthcare costs.
Yeah, I just think that it can be a win-win for everyone in this situation in terms of they can create a game, the PR around this will make a lot of people buy that game, and then, you know, with the profits, they can pay those people.
Hopefully
and
that's the case.
When you said that this is definitely gone in terms of Telltale's is definitely closing down, sure. But if this PR storm sells this game like hotcakes, they might be like, hang on a second, we've just got a huge injection.
Well, and this is where I think we get to the point around why the hell did Telltale close down in the first place, which is, you're talking about a company that did not innovate in any way, shape, or form over the last, like, decade. And in an industry like video games, it's evolve or die. You know, like, I loved me some Telltale games at the start, but by God, they are exactly the same after that, just with different licenses, different story. The game engine is so old right now, so unbelievably outdated, but they never updated it. Their whole gameplay loop never evolved beyond the simple, you know, point-and-click adventure stuff. Now, there's definitely an argument for it shouldn't have to evolve. It should be able to stay the same, because that's what point-and-click games are. But you need to somehow evolve your formula in the world of video games. If you stay the same forever, you die. It's a fact of life.
I think that any game, doesn't matter what genre it is, if it's not evolving in any way, shape, or form,
it's just not.
You will find yourself being stale very quickly. I mean, if we look at RTSs, for instance, I mean, a lot of people still love RTSs, but if we really look at that genre at the moment, I reckon it's probably one of the least performing genres because we haven't really seen a lot of innovation. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that really kick in when, you know, things aren't getting tried and tested in those genres, and it seems like this was the problem here. They were doing the same thing over and over again. People were getting tired of it, and people weren't buying it.
They were also stretching themselves very thin. A lot of picking up a lot of different licensed product, a lot of stuff falling behind schedule, and they're like, oh, sorry guys, we're working on 3 other things. Oh, that's a bit late right now, but we're also announcing we're working on a new Batman Lego thing and a new Game of Thrones thing and a new this, like, just constantly piling up more and more stuff despite how little they were delivering on their existing obligations. It breaks my heart that we're not going to get a Wolf Among Us 2. Sam has never played Wolf Among Us. I can tell you, if you haven't played the Wolf Among Us, go and play it on Steam. It's like $5 now. It is so good. And it's sad because they were going to be working on a sequel, and that's not going to happen now. But as I said, the most important thing is not me and my video games, or you or your video games. It's the staff and their financial needs.
Definitely.
Hopefully, they find a way to help everybody out, get people the money they deserve, because this is a really shitty situation.
Definitely, and I think this is a great lesson for other development houses that may be getting a bit stale or might be looking at their own games and not, trying and testing new things, because this is the reality of it. If you're not trying new things, you will find yourself in a position where people aren't lining up for the game, because they don't feel like they're about to get a new, fresh experience, But I agree with you. The main focus is, of course, making sure that those people are paid, and any profits that are made from these games that are about to be released goes to the right people, for sure.
Right. Anyway, that's the news, guys.
That's it, guys.
The story will continue to evolve, and we'll keep you updated. Very serious, very somber episode.
Very serious. Less memes today.
Let's try and get back on the memes tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
we'll
for
try.
now, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
See you, fam.